Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Angela, and we're coming to you from the greater Chicagoland area.
Hi, I'm Lou,
And I'm Dee.
and we're from Cleveland, Ohio.
Join us as we taste a variety of fun wines.
On Friday nights,
This Friday, we're tasting Chardonnay wines. And last but not least, Bread and Butter Chardonnay.
This is this is my lack of. I think the Phantom is gonna appeal to red wine drinkers. It's full-bodied, a lot of flavors. You get a little bit of the oak in the back. It's familiar but a little different. This is way off a red wine drinker's palate. I'm lost, but it's so interesting.
Final thoughts on Kim Crawford?
He drinks a little more like a Sauvignon Blanc.
Yes, which I've grown to like as well.
So, because it's from New Zealand,
the
it's
citrus?
Yeah, the citrus. Yeah, the citrus, the acidity.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I like this New Zealand style. So, as far as Sauvignon Blancs, which we haven't got to, but we need to get to, I know I personally prefer like West Coast American versus the New Zealand, which is very popular, but it's like maybe a little too citrusy for me. But this New Zealand Chardonnay is really good. It's not too overpowering with the acidity and the citrus. I think maybe because of the Chardonnay grape.
Maybe a nice balance in that. So I don't know anything about the New Zealand, and it sounds like it might be a little cooler, a little higher acid, and it's kind of funny that a grape that you like the Sauvignon Blanc in California. You go to New Zealand, you're not a fan, but all of a sudden the Chardonnay is something that is more up your speed. So it's interesting how a geographic area can change it, how wine is perceived, and whether you like it or not.
Australia and New Zealand. I mean, there's a lot of good wines that come out of there.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I knew more about them, but maybe over this next year we will.
Yeah, that's our goal.
So the white wines?
I'm ready.
You saw it.
So Chris is kicking the kids off of all of our internet stuff.
Yeah, they're in there watching YouTube, and it's like just streaming to the TV. Drives up a wall, and they're like, I don't know how your kids are, but they're like clicking them just 1,000 times.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, just watch it on your computer. You can type in what you're looking for. No, it's just fun.
Chris has the philosophy that buttons have a lifespan.
They do. Am I wrong?
No.
You're not an engineer. Am I wrong, Lou?
Nope.
Not at all.
Everything has a lifespan. Everything.
Okay, but they also make replacements.
They do.
Hey, what?
How much is ours? Can you please order one
There's
now?
universal remotes.
Because we're gonna need it.
Wow.
This thing's these remotes growing
that
free.
third wine if we're gonna get it before dark.
We're gonna be harvesting it this fall. You guys need one?
What's that? What are you harvesting?
We got a remote tree.
Don't ask.
Right in the back. We just planted it. It'll have a first harvest. You could be one of the first ones that get a new remote off our remote tree.
It looks like you guys are in California and we're in New York.
What's that?
It looks like you're in California. It's like sunny and bright, and we're in New York, or we're like in upstate New York in the woods somewhere because it's all trees.
You get for a 2-state difference.
Twilight.
The twilight.
If you guys move to Illinois, you could have this too.
Are we going to move on to the next? Who wants to introduce it?
This is where we're at. Bread and butter.
Bread and butter.
What's interesting?
There is on the.
Is that unoaked? Just kidding.
Don't read the news yet. Just tell us about the wine. Let us finish.
It's a California Chardonnay, oaked on American and French oak barrels, and it does go through a partial malolactic fermentation.
I don't know how you do a partial malolactic.
I wonder how they do that.
A partial?
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
I mean,
That's what they said.
I know a lot of the stuff you can start and then stop with adding sulfides, or you can split the batch, do malolactic on one, and you can add certain chemicals to make that malolactic not start in the other batch. but I don't know how you just do it on partial. Like, hey guys, can you knock it off? This is good.
Yeah. So I have a little bit of the I think this is a Kim Crawford, right? Yes. This is the Kim Crawford.
It's lighter.
It is. The Kim Crawford is like very pale. This is very more yellow, golden.
I won't tell you what it is.
What was? Ooh.
So this is very different than the two others we already tasted.
I like this smell. I smell the oak on this one.
You like
the
the
vanilla.
wood?
Mm-hmm.
I smell a lot of vanilla in this
I
one.
smell. Yes, I smell more. I mean, I could smell a little bit vanilla on the first, but this is very more coming out. Like,
So, Lou, what does that vanilla smell typically come from? Is that grape from? The
No,
grape?
I bet you that's from the toasting of the oak.
the vanilla.
The website. We picked the vanilla out because they say it opens delicately with. Are you okay?
There's a little oak in this one. Wow.
A little bit of wood.
I thought it was kind of easy, like
Sorry.
on the palate. But
I haven't had any yet. No.
Take a sip before you
okay.
read through it. Just get your own
Well,
impression.
I smelled it and then I was reading about the nose of the wine.
Remember that place that we were at?
very creamy. Creamy.
It is
I
creamy.
bet the vanilla pudding would be good.
It's good.
We were in southern Indiana, and we had a red that was over oaked, and like it tasted like drinking sawdust. This isn't there, but it is very pronounced oak. It is.
But
It's got.
Chris, compared to the other two we've tried, this is very oaky.
Right.
This has a lot of body because I can taste it for a long time,
Yeah.
even after I swallow it.
I agree with Lou. It's got a lot of body, which I like. It's just a little too much oak for me. I like my oak to be there to complement. And right now, that's all I can taste.
Can you try this with your peach and cream? Because I tried it with the vanilla pudding and it's like awesome.
Or peach dessert brought out the creaminess.
I just had a bite of the peaches with vanilla pudding. It's a really good combination.
I really like. What about you?
I agree, Angie. It's a really good, but it really smoothed it out and brought out some of the softer flavors.
Based on the name of this wine, I was expecting it to have that big butter pow that I didn't get because it's called bread and butter, so I thought it would be super buttery.
This is a really interesting wine. It's a food wine because as I have this, I'm getting different smells than what I was sensing before.
And I'm getting a lot. Well, there was a lot of vanilla anyway, but to me, it brings out the vanilla.
Yes.
Wow. So that is interesting. I don't know if we've had a lot of wines that we said, well, boy, if you pair it with food, it is really going to bring something special out. What comes out when you pair this wine with food is different every time you try something else. It makes me want to have more so I can try with more food.
Do you think, Chris, it's a complex wine?
Ooh, it has to be.
Should we classify it as a complex wine, even though it's a Friday fun wine?
It's hard. If I would have just tasted it, I wouldn't have thought of it as a complex wine. But now that I've had it with food and a lot of different types of food, it is very complex. Very complex tea.
Nice.
I'm gonna try something different now. I'm gonna get some cheese in there, see how that tastes.
So I just had the smoked salmon. Again, to your point, Chris, a lot of complex flavors. And everything I've tried so far tonight with this wine, the shrimp, the cheese, the mango, the peach, it works.
Yeah, nothing's been
works.
like oh, that's not good.
So
You're right.
Regardless of what you try with food that we've tried so far tonight, this is a great wine.
That's why they got their name. I was thinking they got their name Bread and Butter from the butteriness, but I wonder if they got it from, because a lot, especially in the South, which a lot of my family's from, they always had buttered bread or a buttered roll or some kind of bread and butter with their meal. It didn't matter the meal. And maybe that's why they named this wine Bread and Butter, because it goes with their meal.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
that's a really good point.
I'd also like to make a really good point that Angie's family is from southern Indiana, not necessarily the South.
It is the South. It's south of Indiana.
She's the most south for us. She's like
more
a southerner
south.
to us.
But
We're on the North Coast.
like they're from the South. They still got the accent
A little bit.
and the big old buildings and the tires and yeah, they got it.
So you're at that latitude where creek becomes crick, right?
Correct. Yeah.
I always said creek. There's a difference between a creek and a creek. You know that.
Well, you know, so here's the Ohio definition. If it's south of Canton, Ohio, it becomes crick.
Canton.
True.
North of there, it's creek.
That's true. Yeah.
So on the west side of Ohio, a creek is not a river. It's smaller. A creek is real tiny, just running through your backyard.
We call that a ditch. Or like a,
Well,
yeah. Or,
Switch inside.
yeah, I was gonna stump. Well, you guys are fine outside. We're just getting. I look spooky, and it's like it's becoming more like. What was that movie?
Spooky campfire.
What's that movie?
No. Oh, the woods in the woods.
Yeah. Oh, I can't. Remember. You know what I'm talking about? Like
Yeah.
that.
All right, let's
What's that one where they're in the woods and they're scaring themselves?
I got my hair done and everything. So.
and let's go do a quick recap.
We could do some quick recap. Nothing's quick.
Let's just go inside. All right.
Pause for a station identification.
Yeah.
I think my favorite is Angie's peach dessert. That is really something special.
So for us, it was the peach with the vanilla pudding. Regardless of which wine I had, Bogo, the peach really didn't work, but it really worked with the Kim Crawford and the
The mango was okay with
all of them.
all.
I like the mango. Yeah.
And I think vanilla pudding works with just about everything.
It did.
Like vanilla ice cream.
It was just a peach that didn't work with Bogo.
Right. My favorite pairing tonight, I think, was the edamame with the Kim Crawford unoaked Chardonnay. I thought that was right? Wasn't that the one?
Yeah.
That was really good. And again, yes, the desserts, the vanilla creamy desserts with the bread and butter Chardonnay was really good.
So my favorite pairing was bread and butter with just about everything.
That's
There was not a bad pairing with that wine.
right.
No, wait a minute. Your favorite wine was, Lou? Your favorite wine was,
No, they're talking about pairings.
I know.
Oh,
Well-
we're getting there.
So if I was just drinking wine, I would have to go with the Bogo Bantam.
Yeah.
But if I was eating like we normally do, it's the bread and butter because it just went with everything. It was really a universal wine.
I completely agree. Sorry, dear. I'm sorry.
I thought you guys were saying that the Kim Crawford was your favorite.
Her favorite pairing was the edamame.
I was commenting that the Kim Crawford has half a glass probably left in the bottle, so it was not not a favorite. It was pretty good.
I've not been a very big white, or I should say non-red drinker, but I was pleasantly surprised by all of these wines.
They were all good.
Yeah, I could drink all of these and be happy. Like bread and butter, I agree. That is perfect with whatever. The Phantom, I like it because it's got that butter. I would have loved to have found a buttery Chardonnay to compare all of these with. And I just don't know because none of these were oh man, that's buttery.
So Lou, I agree with you. Overall, I think the Phantom was my favorite. for Chardonnays and not being a Chardonnay drinker, I liked all of them. They each had their own. Exactly. Yes. But the Phantom was my favorite.
Yeah,
What about you?
might as well.
I liked all three, but Bread and Butter's.
All three were really good ones.
Yeah. But I guess my first choice would be Bread and Butter, but I like it.
I agree as well. All good. All had their own special qualities for food and otherwise. I don't know. I like the bread butter, but I like more of a buttery. I like the buttery Chardonnays anyway. And I'm just starting to venture out of the reds, and the Chardonnays were hitting I think the Chardonnays are a really good white wine for red wine drinkers because they still have the complexity and the body. And I think these three wines feature that, where it's the same grape, but you have the oaky buttery, you have the kind of in between where you got a lot of the different notes of a more classic Chardonnay, but still got a little bit of the cream. And then you have the more citrus notes of the Kim Crawford. And it's all Chardonnay, and each of them have aspects of the other, but they focus on something different.
So that's really interesting that you say that, because when you go to Sauvignon Blanc, you're expecting with any Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc you're taste is that grapefruit flavor. When you're tasting a Pinot Gris, you're expecting the apple taste. But with the Chardonnay, you have such a wide spectrum of flavors.
It really is like a blank canvas. I guess.
Yeah, it really is.
To just do so many different ways.
And I think that's for me. If I'm going to take away, the biggest takeaway for me is what you said, Lou. I had a set perception of what a Chardonnay was. It was creamy and buttery. Yes, there was a still fermented, but that's not as popular. And I don't like the popular buttery, oaky Chardonnay. Didn't like it. But you sit these three wines in front of me, and I really enjoyed them all for their own reason. And I was amazed what a spectrum they could span.
Right. Absolutely.
What do you guys think, Dee? Dee?
He said,
Fun Friday wines?
Fun Friday night wines.
Kim Crawford, Bogle,
All three.
yeah,
Bread and Butter, Friday Fun Wine.
sweet.
Endorsed. Cheers.
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 Ching.
Till next time.
Yes, till next time.
Thank you, Dee.
Making wine great again.